Uh, this will be an interactive session. Myself, I am Manoj, and I will be speaking to you about different aspects of pollution. And I want all of you to pay attention, not think about your stomach for some time. Please ignore your stomachs and place full attention on your brains. And I will promise that I will make it very, very interactive. And to the best of my abilities, I will deliver the lecture. Okay? So with all your blessings, I will begin the presentation. Fine. So this is our university campus, and this is just the title slide. Yes, sir. There was a movie once, Good, Bad and Ugly. There was a very long time ago, one movie was Good, Bad and Ugly. So environment is always good. It is having 5 elements. We call it the Panchabhuta. And we have the earth, we have the water, fire, Akasha. We have all these things. Which is the purest element in this? Anybody? Fire. Very good. Why do you say it is the purest element? It burns everything. Only we see only the destruction in the fire. But if you in water, if you add anything in the water, water will get polluted. If you add anything in the air, air will get polluted. But only if you see fire, you add whatever you want, the fire will never get polluted. So usually they say that the fire is the purest element. But of course you know that the fumes that come out of fire are also dangerous nowadays. So this is just to tell you the good side of the environment which sustains life for us. We are all these 5 elements are inside our body. That is why we are there. This is the bad side of the environment. We cannot do anything about this. If we are citizens of this planet, we are not citizens of the country. We are members of the planet. As members of the planet, we have to face the consequences of the environment. And this is called the bad side of the environment. All the natural disasters, whatever you get, these are all the worst sides of the environment. So, there is the good and then there is the bad. Now, there is the ugly. So, there was good, there is bad, and then there is the ugly. The ugly side of the environment is what we refer to as environmental pollution. So, in this lecture, rather than talking about environmental pollution or why the pollution is very important, what you should do, you should all become environmental lovers and you should love the environment, you should avoid pollution, you should stop polluting, you should stop using plastic bags, or as our respected principals are told, the sambar and chutney are put in the plastic bags and we are pouring it and this is a great menace to the environment. All this is fine. But logically you think any hotel, if he is going to give you a stainless steel container for pouring the sambar and chutney, naturally it will be more tasty. But the sambar and chutney cost will go up. The cost of the idli packet will go up. So for all practical reasons plastic is there, and plastic is a very, very fantastic material. We should not be ashamed of using plastic actually. But where we should limit ourselves, where we should control, where we should mitigate, where we should prevent, where we should conserve, where we should protect, and where we should stop. That is very, very important to realize. So, this is a very famous movie quote from the movie Apocalypto. Apocalypto, the movie is there. What this story, if you can read very fast, you can read it, but what this story basically says is, from different animals, the human being was given different parts. Man asked, give me some eyes of the eagle. Then the eagle gave him the eyes. Give me the strength of a lion. The strength of the lion was given. Finally, man got the power of all the animals together. Then nature became afraid of man because now he can do so many things. So this is the nature of man. We are fundamentally afraid of ourselves. Pollution has become such a bad problem. Now we are polluting the environment, we are polluting the earth, we are polluting the water, so we are bad. We are not the villains in this story. Definitely. Please don't feel bad about yourself. You are not at fault. If you are using plastic, you are not a bad person. First you please remove that thought from your head. Okay? So it is okay to use plastic. It is okay to pollute the environment because you are trying to stay alive. Because the only other option is to destroy the human species. The human species can disappear, then there will be no anthropological sources of pollution. Then some other pollution will come. If human being is not there, there will be some other organism which is going to create the pollution. Pollution is not just created by the human being. But the impact of pollution on the globe is considerably large. And for our survival, if you love yourself and you want to survive in the environment for a longer period of time, you must try to conserve the environment. Because if you don't conserve it, there are two forms of watching the world. It is called anthropocentric and ecocentric. Ecocentric means I love earth, I love the hugging the trees, I love the green color. So the environment is in the center and I am outside, I am worshipping the environment. This is ecocentric view. Anthropocentric view is a very good view. It means the environment exists for my sustenance. And for myself to eat the food, for myself to live and breathe. For that reason the environment is there, so I must take care of the environment. So these are two different views you can take. So whenever we speak about the environment, we must also speak about ourselves. Who are we? What is our place in the environment? How we should survive as a species? Because if you are not ready to survive, there are thousands of species ready to replace you. You see our cockroach in the house. How many times you would have tried to kill it in your house? This is a department of biotechnology where we study how the gene transfer is done. Vertical and horizontal gene transfer between the cockroaches. We see that the gene transfer is very fast. That is why the HIT, the company which makes HIT, is highly profitable. HIT, Began, they are all very rich companies. Because genetically the cockroach will evolve very fast. Like that human beings will sell. Cockroach will lay so many eggs very fast. And it will grow into a cockroach and it will become a big cockroach very quickly. So the level of evolution is very fast. So today what Began or HIT is working will not work tomorrow. So you just imagine, human beings are actually very weak things. We are very fragile. We can get destroyed easily within the environment. But if we get destroyed, then the cockroaches will replace us. So if we are creating the pollution, what will happen ultimately? The planet will become unsustainable for human beings. The human race will end. Then some other species will survive. The planet will go on. Please understand that the planet will not be destroyed. The earth, nothing is going to happen to earth. The earth is a mass of gas, land, everything that is going to survive, and whatever species can survive in that high concentration of carbon dioxide will survive. At present, what is the problem? Global warming we are saying. What is this global warming? Anybody?
Increase in carbon dioxide in atmosphere.
Yes, increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So naturally we will reach a particular temperature. Say for example, Chennai is at a temperature, we are reaching at a temperature of 47 degrees Celsius. In Rajasthan it is 52 degrees Celsius. And there is no ocean there, so the skin will simply dry. So there will come a point of time when we cannot survive outside in the environment. But at the same temperature only, camel is also surviving. Our microorganisms are able to survive in that temperature. So if you are not there, no problem for the environment. The environment will go on. The earth will circle the sun, everything will happen. Only we will get destroyed. So it is for our survival that we are addressing this problem of environmental pollution. So that reason we should have clearly in our mind. If we want to survive, we have to take care of the environment. This is the scale of impact that we have. Deforestation, stubble burning, which is a current problem. What is stubble burning? Anybody? Agricultural waste, very good. You know when this became a problem? This has been done traditionally for a long time. Whenever every harvest is done, they will burn the waste material. That will be reimbursed into the soil as carbon. This is a very good practice. But when it became a problem, when the farms became close to Delhi and the smoke started going to the capital, the city people were affected. Then they started complaining, it came in the newspapers. Now it is a Government of India trust area to do research in this area and get lot of funds to mitigate this particular problem. How to remove the stubble burning, provide alternative. They are trying to pay farmers not to burn the stubble. So this is one latest problem which is happening. This is the final impact of our activity. Any activity you do on the environment, finally what will happen? It will turn into a desert. Desert means the rate of evaporation will be higher than the rate of rainfall. So then there is no coming back. Usually there is no coming back, but now because of bioremediation we can do it, but it will take a long time. It will take several years. So these are just some impacts. I can see one person already going to sleep. So next we will start the activities. This is a very big tragedy which happened in our country. And most of you may not remember also, because most of us would have been children when this happened. 1983, 84, December. It was on the night of December. Methyl isocyanate gas. This gas came out, It was downhill, it went into the village, more than 3,000, 4,000 people died overnight in their sleep because they were sleeping outside. It was a hot night, they were sleeping outside their homes, more than 3,000, 4,000 people died. It's the biggest tragedy till date, industrial tragedy. So this is the biggest scale to which environmental pollution can happen. It can wipe out the entire section of the village. In movies, recently in the movie theatre also Godzilla movie is going on. Godzilla movie, you can see big lizard moving around. It's a very big reptile, it is moving around. It is because of the impact of radiation. It is not a story. You can see that after Fukushima disaster, the fishes and the plants, they are naturally increased in the size. Mutation is becoming possible. So these are all not anymore, there are not fairy tales or movie stories. They are increasingly becoming a reality, and we have to face this. And we have to eat onions which are bigger than the normal onion. You know sambar vengayam? Everybody? The sambar vengayam is the original vengayam. It is the original onion with a high concentration of propionic acid. But the onion which you eat, if you cut the sambar onion, you won't get tears. That normally. But if you eat the big onion, you will get the tears. Big onion is the hybrid variety. The amount of water, the amount of soil, the amount of pesticide, the amount of fertilizer that is needed to cultivate the bigger onion is much more than the smaller onion. Which means one of the best ways to avoid pollution is to get respect for our own cultural practices. Then our country's biodiversity and our country's environment will be somehow preserved. This is endosulfan, the negative effects of endosulfan. One of the pesticides which is used is a huge problem in Kerala, in the state of Kerala. And you must have heard about this a lot. So these slides are just to create an awareness amongst you about the pollution. So this is a cartoon to make you realize what is consumerism, how much we consume. One person, how much he needs, whether he is consuming more than he requires, whether he is stampeding on the other person's rights to consume. This is very, very important. What is the definition of sustainability, anybody? Sir, so don't sleep, sir. Last person is sleeping. My students, if they sleep, I will always tell them to go wash their face and come back. Usually they don't sleep. So sir is nicely, I think he is very tired. What, sir? Okay, so consumerism is a very big problem. Consumerism, urbanization, all these things. Anybody can tell me the definition of sustainability? Now all of us are going to work together. We are going to do interactive activity. Then we will wind up for lunch. So anybody can tell me what is sustainability? Nirandaramaga one irukanuna, what we should do?
Balanced
Sir?
balanced development.
Very good, sir. Balanced development. How we, for what we do this balanced development, sir? Why we should develop balance? I am going to eat biryani and I am going to sleep. Why I should bother? How will I do this balanced development in the consumption of biryani? Or say filling up of petrol in my motorbike. How do I do it sustainably?
It should be available to all.
Very good, sir. It should be available to all. That is one. So balanced development, it should be available to all. When we say all, what do we mean by all?
All animals and species on earth.
Animals say cockroach does not bother about you. Why you are bothering about the cockroach? Does it ever think about any human being? The cockroach? It is not bothering. You keep a bhaji on the plate, it will come and eat the bhaji. It does not bother that you have not finished it.
Sir, in ecology,
Yeah.
all the insects and animals,
Very good, sir.
the ecological cycle.
Exactly.
Even honeybees we require
Yes.
for pollination.
Yes.
So without honeybees, we don't have crops.
Yes.
So we need every animal
Good.
to play its part for sustaining our life.
Exactly. Good, sir. So, sir has told rightly that we should be sensitive to all the animals of the environment so that the ecological balance is sustained and maintained, and in turn we are happy. Sir has told about balanced equation. Another professor has told about available to all. When we say all, not just all animals, birds, insects, microorganisms, available to our children. That is more important. So when we tell it should be available not only for this generation, but for every other generation, for the future also. The children should be having that same air, clean water, everything should be. Then only it is sustainable development. So future generations it should be available. So this is a very normal picture. It says the earth is in our hands, the future of the planet is in your hands, but actually the future of the planet is not in our hands. The future of the planet is in the planet's hand. The planet is having its own wisdom. If it has its own natural cycle of cyclones, earthquakes, everything it has. If we do something, it will react. So the planet is a living organism, it will react against us. So there are lots of ecological models available. So Earth has a way of coming back to its balanced state. And when it comes back to its balanced state, it will not bother whether we are there or not. That is where we have to be careful. We should be careful that our impact does not promote the Earth to do something adverse in order to wipe out our species. Recent example is the Nipah virus. H1N1 virus much before that. Nipah virus very recently. Very easy to wipe out the human species. Just it takes a small virus. So now we come to some interesting things why we should respect our own situation. This is in Norway, this is a seed vault. Seed vault where all the seeds of the world are stored for protection. Yes, madam?
Warehouse of seeds.
Warehouse of seeds, exactly. So if anything happens bad, then we can get the seeds from this particular place. So it's a sub-zero temperature, it is frozen for a long time, so we can take it at any time. But this is Norway, very cold place, everything. You see here, what is happening? Same thing we have been doing for centuries. Norway is doing for maybe 30-40 years. We have been doing it for centuries. Hundreds of years, thousands of years we have been doing. In our temple there is kalasam in the top, in the tower, temple tower, Gopuram. Every 25 years they will do one puja, they will replace the contents inside. What they will do, they will take 9 different types of grains, Navadanya it is called. The best grains, just germ blossom from that environment will be taken, it will be stored in the highest structure of the village, which is the temple tower. It is a very, very scientific method. Any flood, any famine comes, any natural disaster happens, any pest infection happens, the crops are destroyed, the people will come to the temple and pray to God. Then the priest will go up the tower, he will bring back, God has given these seeds. Then they will sow it back and the agriculture is restored. So this is a very good way of respecting our own way to conserve the environmental resources. This is a industrial scale model, just to make you think what is pollution, how we can treat pollution, what is this. This is an industrial scale electrostatic precipitator. This is a big unit. Basically what it will do now, see for example if I have a chalk piece and I grind that chalk piece and I put it here as powder and then I do blow it, then the dust will come out. So it means it has a charge, it's a charged particle. So once it enters this electrostatic chamber, what happens? It is hit with a very heavy electric charge. So the material loses its charge, it falls down. So once it falls down, it can be easily collected. So any industry which is generating a lot of dust, this particular machinery is used. This is an actual industrial scale electrostatic precipitator to remove the particulate matter in the particular environmental area, facility, that factory. Now, this is very big investment, several crores of rupees. You look how it can be replaced. Normal procedure which is done. Nowadays nobody is doing, we are all living in flat. Earlier what happens? In the evenings you can see our aunties and our grandmas, even our mothers, what they will do, they will sprinkle the water outside. They will sprinkle it in a certain fashion, you might have seen, that is an art. That is not only done in India, in South India, it is also done in Japan also. So what happens when they spray the water droplets they will mix with the suspended particulate matter. The suspended particulate matter's mass will increase. Then it will fall down to the ground. Then when the people throughout that street, throughout that area, they do the same thing at the same time, the entire area will become clean, will become free of particulate matter. So this is one of the methods. Even today, whenever we see any construction site, people try to sprinkle the water. So these kinds of traditional methods have been used in our country, we have forgotten it. Now, biodiversity in India. So this all of us know, when the professor told that we must take care of all the species. In our country we have a very rich biodiversity. Lot of foreign tourists are coming and collecting samples and going to the foreign countries. They will collect it and they will do the HPLC. They will say a rare compound is found in this particular plant. They will tell the scientific name of the plant. They will patent it and then we will buy it as Colgate toothpaste. So this is what is going on. So we have a lot of rich biodiversity in our country. We don't know how to protect it. But our ancient people, they knew how to protect it, and that protection is still prevalent today. This is Shabarimala and Mannarshala in Kerala. So both these temples are located inside a very dense forest. And snake guard. So both these temples are located in the center of the forest, and that forest has very rich biodiversity, particularly the Western Ghats, and this area high in endemic species. Endemic species means animals and plants which are found only in that particular area in the entire world. So this is a very good way of protecting the plant. In the city, if you want to protect any tree, you wrap a red cloth around the tree, it will be protected. You apply some turmeric also, it will be protected. So similarly, if you want to kill the tree, both sides are happening. Don't think only one side is happening. If they want to kill the tree, one small syringe of mercury they will inject into the tree. The tree will slowly die, and then they will apply to the corporation that this tree is a menace to the traffic. It is a dead tree. Then they will have the tree removed. This is how both sides of the game will play. So today's talk is not about environmental activism. Otherwise I would have told you about that side as well. It is about environmental pollution. So this is one Mr. Jadhav Payan. He got, I think Padma Shri also he got for planting an entire forest by himself. He's very always you can see this in Facebook and WhatsApp. You can see this picture. So now we come to the interactive session. What is environment? What is the difference between conservation, protection and treatment? So those who are sleeping can please wake up now. I think ladies also started sleeping now. So what is the difference between conservation, protection and treatment? Anybody? Sir, I am not able to, no need mic. It's okay, everybody is able to hear me? Yes, sir. So what is the difference between conservation, protection and treatment? You can interact, we are all faculty members here, so there is no need to hesitate. Few students are there, but they will not tell outside, so we can freely interact, and you can try telling different things, what it means.
Conservation is without using overuse.
Without?
Without overuse.
Without overuse. Okay, sir. Without using it too much, that is conservation.
Yeah, conservation.
Okay.
The protection is if we use some quantity more over, and then it will become endemic.
Okay.
So that kind of species we have called endangered
Endangered. Okay.
species. So
Okay.
we have to protect them.
Okay.
And treatments.
Related to environment, sir,
If it is
treatment.
some kind of water or air and some effluents from the leather industry or chemical industry, so we can remove the toxic elements, heavy elements, and use some treatment that can be useful for a plant crops,
Good.
not for something else.
Good. That is your perspective.
Yeah.
So you want to add anything?
The conservation means saving the saving.
No problem, sir. We can hear you. We can hear you, sir.
The conservation means saving
Please, please.
the species,
Okay.
any plant variety or animal,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
We have to conserve that. So balance
Balance.
will be maintained.
Okay. Okay.
Naturally or artificially, any.
Okay. So we are all having different ideas about conservation, how we should conserve the environment. Then we are having one need to protect the environment. So what is the difference between threatened, extinct, gone forever? So more than 10 years or 15 years, if you are not able to see any animal or plant, it is considered as extinct, gone. So protection is also important, otherwise you lose it. The last step is treatment. You cannot do anything about conservation. If you don't conserve, the environment is lost. If you don't protect, the environment is lost. But if you are treating the environment, you can reverse a lot of things. Lot of things you can reverse. So treatment is very, very important. That is what human beings can do. Human beings can not only spoil the environment, we can also treat the environment. Not only for us, but also for the other species. So, which looks dirty. Actually, you have seen from where I took the water. I did not want to reveal it actually. But you have all seen it. Which is looking more dirty? Which needs treatment? This one needs treatment or this one needs treatment? Colored solution needs treatment. So it is unfit for drinking. I will drink it. Actually very thirsty after talking for such a long time. So I will drink it. So I will drink this also. Sir is very kind. Actually sir is one of my gurus. He is a very big expert in aquaculture. So I will drink mango juice from the guru. This is water. I will drink the water also. It was sterilized.
Exactly.
So as the biotechnologist, sir is telling, without autoclaving, he has given the beaker. Fine, nothing will happen to me. I have a good immune system. So, which is more polluted, a glass of water or a glass of mango juice? I was hoping to fill mango juice, then I thought I drank Coca-Cola, it looked darker. So a glass of Coca-Cola or mango juice, which is more polluted? Glass of water is not polluted? So you want to say yes because I am having some trick question there. So you are thinking that I may ask something, so you are feeling yes.
Comparatively.
Comparatively, which is more polluted, sir? Coca-Cola is more polluted. Okay. But because you know now that I drank the Coca-Cola, it is not polluted. Only appears polluted. Generally, we have this bad notion in our head. Now, immediately you are going to go to lunch. You will eat the food. So the food should have a particular color. Yes? If it is white, then it is considered very healthy. If it is brown, then it is considered very heavy. If it is biryani, then no, full oil will get inside the stomach. I am not going to be healthy. But if it is tail sadam, if it is white in color, it is very healthy food. We should eat it and be healthy. Both are carbohydrates, same concentration. Okay. So the level of time it takes to digest both the food will differ. But similarly, in water, you see our ancient water when we used to drink, the water was not pure white. It will not be transferred. This is unnatural water. This treated water is not correct. If you take the well water will have some discoloration in it. It will have a lot of minerals. When a lot of minerals are there, the water will naturally become turbid. So having discoloration in the water does not disqualify it for drinking. It has been a marketing hype created in your head that the water should be completely treated. It should be stripped of all the nutrients. It should be stripped of every single traceable color. Then only the water is fit for drinking. Then it is almost equivalent to distilled water. If you drink distilled water, what will happen to your body?